What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. And on today's episode, we're going to be breaking down the Chicago Bears injury report, who's on it, who's off it, who may make their debut this season. We're going to get all that, plus a voicemail right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
All right, Bears fans, so we got updates to the Chicago Bears injury report as it stands right now going into the game against the New York Giants. So Matt Adams has not practiced all week. He also joins Dane Cruikshank, Jalen Johnson, and David Montgomery, who've all missed the whole week of practice. So be on the lookout for those players missing, especially David Montgomery there. Now, Khalil Herbert has filled in very nicely thus far. He actually has more yards with less carries than David Montgomery. But with that being said, we know what David Montgomery means to the team, and we know how dangerous we could be with having him and Khalil available. So, unfortunately, while some do see Khalil Herbert as, being able to fill in and take the spot of David Montgomery, it still means that we're one weapon down potentially against the New York Giants, which we may need all of them with. Now, last season, Robert Quinn set a franchise record for sacks against the Giants. Now, he apparently has been out of practice the last 2 days with an illness, putting his availability for Sunday's game into question at least a little bit some. He may play through it. You may see Robert Quinn play through that. May just be a thing of sit out practice, get some rest, be ready for the game. As of right now, there's nothing for certain saying he's going to be out for sure, but be on the lookout for that. May be a possibility going into the next game of Robert Quinn missing some time. Now, me, C-Dub, Bobby, we did very heavily talk about how Dominique Robinson, Travis Gibson should be playing more snaps. So be on the lookout for them to possibly open that up. And the thing that could be interesting in doing so is that we've seen Robert Quinn held a lot without getting calls, but a lot of coverage to keep him from getting to the quarterback. With having him gone and seeing more spread out there, it could open up opportunities for other people. So be on the lookout for that. That is something to see. With that, hopefully he is available. Like I said, that he just plays through the illness, and it's not anything that necessarily keeps him out. He just needed to get a couple of rests. So hopefully we'll see what happens there. I'm hopeful that he's going to play, but even if he does not, one thing that we have shown is we got some talent on that defensive line that comes off the bench, so we'll see. Also, Cario Santos missed Thursday's practice as well for personal reasons, and it looks like Roquan Smith was also limited in practice as well. So be on the look for those guys to possibly miss some games, miss some times, but on the flip side of that, we got some positivity coming our way with Vwlus Jones not only practicing Thursday, also Friday. He may be making his season debut for the Chicago Bears against the New York Giants, and having another weapon out there for Justin Fields with Vwlus Jones' quickness, his route running, things like that, maybe being able to get more in the slot, get some of those shorter passes out there while other teams are guarding David Montgomery, Equinami St. Brown. You guys know I had a prediction that I do expect Vwlus Jones to eventually be the wide receiver 2 on this team. I think I said by week 4. It's not going to happen because he's missed the season, but with all that being said, Vwlus Jones, I don't want to overhype it, right? Yes, he's a rookie. Yes, I don't want to put too much on him. But when you look at the way that everything's gone, having a receiver with his quickness, right? Not a lot of size. He's 6 foot. He is bigger than Darnell Mooney. But having him out there and being an additional weapon to hopefully balance like Cole Kmet and Darnell Mooney being out there as well. And Equinami's is still going to get pass attempts thrown his way as well. But having him out there, having that addition, it may revitalize this passing game in a sense, right? I'm not saying that it's all hinging on Vwlus Jones. I'm not saying that he's going to necessarily just come out there and just wow in the first game and make a huge difference, but you could see coverage change a little bit. You could see those type of things go a favorable way that it could, like I said, adding another weapon is never going to hurt, especially for Justin Fields, who needs as many weapons out there. But I just hope, it's going to be challenges of getting him back going into game speed, getting him in sync. It's going to be some challenges with that. We heard that him and Justin Fields did work out a lot of chemistry in training camp, things like that. But going through first 3 weeks, looking at where our passing attack is at the bottom of the NFL, Justin Fields has only completed 23 passes so far in this game. In this season. So having more weapons out there could never hurt. Vwlus needs to get out there anyway to just kind of get up to speed, catch up. This Bears team definitely believes in Velus. That's why they drafted him where they did. They went out and got him because they thought he was going to be able to come in and do something for this team. So I, for one, if he does end up playing Sunday, I think it's going to bode well for this team. I want to see this team make significant improvements in the passing game as well. And, again, I don't necessarily, they don't need to be perfect yet. It's going to be a slow burn. It's going to be a process that you have to go through to get that. But it looks like we actually got official word now. This is just updated as of this recording. This actually just got posted a couple of minutes ago. David Montgomery is official, and Jalen Johnson are out against the Giants on Sunday. So they are officially out. As far as the status right now, they will not be playing Sunday against the Giants. So no more question there. So they've been ruled out. That's not going to be a thing. So luckily, breaking news here. Luckily, I checked while I'm doing things out. So Khalil Herbert's going to get another start in place of David Montgomery. But anyway, back to this situation with Velus Jones. I do think he can seriously help this team. I do think he can make an impact over the course of time. I don't know in this first game. It may take a couple of weeks to get him up to speed, but I really like the addition of Velus Jones and adding him to this wide receiver core with his speed out on the outside, getting through the middle, things like that. Hopefully we see that make an impact, and hopefully we see either way this passing game and this passing attack make some improvements against the New York Giants, because I think it could be huge. Velus Jones is moved down to questionable. Robert Quinn is listed as questionable right now on the updated one. So officially out. David Montgomery, Jalen Johnson, Dane Cruikshank are all officially out. Doubtful. Ryan Griffin, Matt Adams are both doubtful. So there you go. Update on that one. Let's get into this next thing. Today, Fridays are always going to be voicemail Fridays. So we're going to go ahead and play this first voicemail, or this only voicemail that we got today. This one is from Rory.
What up, Haize? It's your boy Rory, man. Your boy, I'm born and raised from the South, man, from the South Side. I love to see you guys. I love y'all show, man. Y'all are hilarious, man. I absolutely love the show and what y'all doing, how y'all cover the context of the game, your honesty. You know what I'm saying? You ain't playing no favoritism. Hey, man, just got a quick question. Hey, man, I blame Nagy and Ryan Pace for getting rid of Cordell Patterson. Could you guys imagine if Cordell Patterson was in this offense, man? You know what I'm saying? And used right, he could have been our Swiss Army knife, like how they use Deebo Samuels. You know what I'm saying? Cause I'm looking at these Atlanta games, and he's balling in Atlanta. Could you imagine, man? We had you know what I'm saying? He could have been that Swiss Army knife, man, in his offense. He could have been a running back. You know what I'm saying? Back there with Montgomery and Herbert, man. You know what I'm saying? Or he could have been out, play receiver. I mean, he could have did so many other things, man. I'm telling you, Cordell Patterson would have been awesome in this offense, bro, because he's balling in Atlanta. Hey, man, give your boy a shout out, man, because, like I said, I support the show. I love you guys, man, what y'all doing, man. Keep doing the good work, man. Keep representing the Chi. I live in Las Vegas right now, but, hey, I ain't claiming no city but the Chi. It's in me. I take Chicago wherever I go. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, bear down. You know what I'm saying? Y'all keep up the good work, man. Thanks.
All right. So Rory brings up Cordell Patterson. And, he is getting a lot of yards. He's doing his thing. He is used as a Swiss Army knife is the greatest comparison to that. And what I will say is that, actually, I think it was C-Dub or Bobby, I think that brought this up. While we're talking about who could be used as a kind of a Swiss Army knife, could Velus Jones eventually turn into that? When you look at the measurables of Velus Jones and Cordell Patterson, they're very similar. Cordell Patterson is 2 inches taller than Velus Jones, but very similar. Velus Jones, 220 pounds. Cordell Patterson, 227. Cordell Patterson, 6'2". Velus Jones, 6 feet tall. When you look at the speed, and even how they've used Equanimeous St. Brown so far for the Chicago Bears, we've seen him used in the running game a couple of times. Adding Velus Jones' speed to that and possibly using him, maybe not as much running as what you see Cordell Patterson doing for the Atlanta Hawks, but could Velus Jones turn into that? Could we be seeing a future in which Velus Jones is used not only in special teams, but as a wide receiver in the running game? Could we see something like that happen? It's way too early to tell, but I definitely could imagine having him still on the team in the way in which like a Luke Getsy offense would use him, especially with now, how good our running game is, but how we're trying to get the passing game going. Having a versatile weapon like that, Cordell Patterson on this team would be huge. But I'm going to just go present that question. Could we see Velus Jones turn into a Swiss Army knife type weapon? We got to see a lot from him before we can ever say that. But with his speed, with his size, I don't quite hate that. I don't quite hate that at all. It's it's an interesting prospect. It's an interesting prospect. But before we go, I want to get into some bold predictions for the game against the New York Giants, and this is what I'm going to say. Just from our players, I'm going to say that we get 200 yards of passing overall from this offense. I think that Khalil Herbert is going to have another big game, which isn't a bold prediction at all. Khalil Herbert's going to have a big game. But on the defensive end, that's where I'm going to start making some more predictions, some key-in predictions. Jaquan Brisker is going to get his first interception, and it's going to be pick 6. We're going to get 3 sacks at least in the game against the New York Giants. That's what I'm going to say. Those are my bold predictions heading in. But that is it for me for today. Thank you for joining the daily show of Chicago Bears Central. You're the best part of this show. Make sure you're following the show at Chi Bears Central on every social media platform. You can also send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, ChicagoBearsCentral@gmail.com. And lastly, if you want to leave a text and our voicemail to sound off and be heard on this show like you just heard that voicemail, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. We're in the number 1 spot for everything Chicago Bears related. And like I like to end every video on, go Bears. Love you guys. Bear down. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.